So now I want to talk to you a little bit about some of those answers I said we would get back to. Okay. So firstly, I just want to just summarize kind of what you said, that you've tried smoking cigarettes one time, didn't like it. You've had a few drinks a few different times over the last year at some parties. And you also got a ride from someone who you knew was smoking marijuana. Did I get all those right?
That's about right.
Yeah, okay. All right. So I want to say that, it's a good thing that you seem to not like smoking, seem to have decided that you don't want to smoke. I hope you would continue to decide that you don't want to smoke. It's also really good that you don't use anyone else's prescription medicines. I know it's really tempting in high school with your busy schedule and just trying to use things to help you study, to help keep up with your busy schedule. So it's really a good thing that you've also avoided doing that. But it really it is concerning about your drinking. So I just wanted to hear a little bit more about that from you. So could you just tell me a little bit about your drinking?
Well, it's not really that big of a deal. It's just on the weekends I'll have a couple of beers, and I think the main thing was the homecoming, when I just got a little scared because I didn't remember parts of that night. So, and like my friend threw up, so it was kind of scary.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So just to clarify, so it sounds like on the one hand, you kind of drink to fit in, that your friends all do it, that you felt kind of would help feel a little bit more comfortable in this date. But on the other hand, just being afraid of some of the consequences and seeing friends get sick are kind of a negative for that. Well, while I am concerned about your drinking, just so you know, we used to think that people's brains were done developing by the time you were 16, but now we know that they develop well into your 20s, and alcohol really can have an effect on developing brain cells. Probably that time where you didn't remember everything you did that night, we call that a blackout. And that's usually an indication that there's some subtle effects of the alcohol on your brain cells. So again, that's concerning. Not to mention that often people do things that they later regret when they're drinking. So just to think about all that, and really I would recommend that you not drink at all until you turn 21.
Okay.
Okay, so just to think about that, but if I had to have you put on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being not at all interested, 10 being very interested, where do you think you'd be as far as your interest in stopping drinking right now?
That sounds like a good idea. Probably like a 9 or a 10.
Okay, good. So now I just want to talk also about driving with the friend who was smoking marijuana.
Okay.
Yeah, just to make sure you understand it, a lot of times people may seem fine, but really they're not, especially with the skills you need to drive safely. So that's something that you'd really want to avoid.
You're right. I'll just call my parents next time I need a ride.
Okay. Yeah, I think, I've known your parents for a long time, and I think they'd be understanding and willing to do what they need to do to come get you, so.
Yeah.
Good, okay. Well, do you have any questions?
No, I think that's good.
Okay. So what I want to do is have you come back in a couple months and just check in to see how you're doing with not drinking. So let's see how that goes, and you'll come back in a couple months and we'll see how that went.
Okay, sounds good.